and you just left me with this woman. Like, who is she? Why is she here? Why is she talking to me? Who let her in this house? I feel like I'm ready to talk about it. I feel like I'm not ready to talk about it, but I need to make something happen. Whatever that something is, I don't know what that something is, but where my daddy at, you know? And like I said, I've suppressed many things for years and years and years and years because it didn't make me feel good, or I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Angie, back with another episode of On the Rocks podcast, baby. Baby, is that how I do it? This is an emotional episode today. It's a heavy topic. Some of what I've suppressed for a very, very long time. I feel like I'm ready to talk about it. I feel like I'm not ready to talk about it, but I need to make something happen. Whatever that something is, I don't know what that something is, but I'm just trying. Maybe this is a part 1, part 2 type of situation because I just don't know how my mind will go with this episode. So anyway, let's get into the what's in the cup. I wanted to do something like, I don't know, when I was thinking about this drink, because it's apple involved. I was like, I just thinking so much about Snow White. So I might call it Snow White, Eve's apple, something like that. I don't know. I'm stuck between a Snow White or Eve's apple. But basically, it is a really, really nice drink. All right, these are the ingredients that I'm using for the cocktail. Get yourself a big ass cube of ice, baby, ice, baby. What's going on? We got a double dose of JD here. Pour your Jack Daniels, your regular Jack Daniels. Then you want to do your apple Jack Daniels. Go a little bit heavier with the Jack Daniels apple. Then you want to use cran apple, which is the best ocean spray juice. Fight me, okay? Ginger ale. You know we got ginger ale on deck. Top it off with the ginger ale. And this is your Snow White. It's so good, y'all. Enjoy. Let's go ahead and get into our ice topics for today's episode. It's very simple, very vague in terms of the ice topics, but I'll go into the specifics as we cover each topic. But the ice topics for today, with the main topic being broken home, I've broken it down into 3 parts. As a little girl, as a young woman, maybe like a adolescent, teenager type of situation, and then as a adult. So let's jump into a little girl. I think there are a lot of people out there that will be able to relate to this topic in some way or form, some way, shape or form throughout whatever stage I talk about today. But my parents got divorced when I was like a baby. Not a baby, like young. So 4 I think. So I don't really remember their relationship. I really don't even remember seeing them together, if you ask me. Like, I don't remember too much of that. I feel like my vivid recollection, recollection, I can't even talk today, recollection of my parents has always been separated in some sense, like one or the other. And I think because you don't really remember a lot when you're like 1, 2, 3 maybe. So those early years I don't remember seeing them together, because why would I? Like, I'm a true baby in that aspect. But as I started to get a little bit older, I just saw them separate. If it didn't really feel like we did things together as a family, so it would make sense why they would just separate. I think they were already on the verge of separation as I kind of came into the picture and was a little bit older. So I don't know. So my parents separated, and you know, when your parents separate, you go and split time with your mom or with your dad. Ironically, I was a dad's girl. Like, I remember enjoying spending a lot of time with my father, and just being like wanting to be around him. And my mom was cool, but I just wanted to be with my dad. I'm like, yo, I want to be a dad's girl. Like, wanted to hang out with my dad and stuff. But things kind of took a turn once he got remarried. I feel like, and I felt like, especially at that time, when he got remarried, it's kind of like he threw this lady at me and really wasn't around anymore. Like, I remember dealing with the balance of my mom and my dad, but then when he got remarried, it was just like my dad really wasn't in the picture anymore. And you just left me with this woman. Like, who is she? Why is she here? Why is she talking to me? Who let her in this house? When is she going to get kicked out? Do I need to call the cops? Mind you, I'm a little girl, so these are all these things that I'm thinking, like, where's my dad? Why are you taking me somewhere? Why is my dad not taking me somewhere? So all of these things are just going through my mind, and I'm like, what? You getting married? Okay, cool, good for you, but where you at? I guess it was things always work related, and I don't know. I just feel like from there starts the trickle down effect of a broken home in a sense where your relationship with your parent just crumbles because, you know, you're not there anymore. You're putting other things before your children. You're doing other obligations, which I understood. Like, parents do have to work, but where is your balance? Where do you take the time to fit in spending time with your child, but also, you know, working when need be, or communicating that with me in some aspect? I kind of felt like my dad was just like there, but not there, like, ever. And it was really weird because my parents live so close to each other. Before my dad moved, he lived like, what, 10 minutes away, if that. And then when he moved, he literally lives a block over. A block over. Like, I can walk to his house in 5 minutes, drive to his house in 1 minute. Still didn't really see him like that. I think that it's important to just try to be open the best way you can with your children in terms of what's going on. I feel like our relationship could have been stronger had we had a conversation of him just like letting me know what's going on. Like, if there was some things in his work that required him to spend more time there, then say that to me. I just kind of felt like when my mom dropped me off to his house, it was just like, hey, bye, I'm leaving, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and then I'm at the house with my stepmother, and I'm like, I don't want to be here with her. I want to be with my father. Like, yo, who is you? Where my daddy at? You know? So I just feel like that just started the trickle down effect for some hard moments growing up, still to this day, as I am, I don't know how old I am now, 26, right? Yes, 1994. Y'all, side note, when I be going to the when I be going places or like talk to somebody and they ask me how old I am, I really have to take a moment and just think, because I can't even believe half the time that I'm the age that I am, because time is just flying. Time is flying. I'm almost 30. Not that that's a bad thing, but I just can't believe how fast I have grown up and continue to grow. It's a beautiful thing, but I'd be like looking back like, damn, where did the time go? And can I go get it? Cause Lord Jesus. Anyway, so yeah, it's sad. It's a little sad for me talking about it right now, as I'm thinking about how much, and I really think it might be a part 2 to this, simply because it's so much stuff that I've been through, and I know that there's so many people out there that have experienced things similar, if not the same thing. But I'm just not ready to go deep into it on this platform at this moment, because I haven't even addressed it within myself, and I haven't really dig deep to make the correlation on how this truly affects other things within my life. And it's important for people to try to make a correlation of their upbringing and their growth through the years, and see if there is a relationship. Things that happen to you at a certain age or in the past, sometimes they do affect your future, or they do affect you in your present moment. And I'm battling that a little bit, and I would like to talk to a therapist about that, to just bring it out. I feel like for years I've been scared to tap into that side, and I wasn't ready. But now, over the past couple years, with everything that has happened to me, all in all, in my life, in a moment of reflection, I really think I need to go back to the source in the beginning of things, to understand me a little bit more, to understand how to love myself a little bit more, how to love someone else. You know, all of these things just factor into what I went through, and you got to talk about it, and to talk about it with somebody that's going to be able to pull those things out of you, because you know, it's hard. And like I said, I've suppressed many things for years and years and years and years because it didn't make me feel good, or I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So stepping into a young adult, like my teenager years, my mom and I had a really good relationship, birthing from my dad getting remarried. And like I said, I just kind of felt like he threw this woman on me, and I just didn't, I didn't want no parts of that. So like, who else is to be around and, you know, strengthen a relationship with my mom? So me and my mom became extremely close, and I just knew how hard she was working to take care of me. So I just wanted to help out in any way that I can. So that's why I started working early and just, you know, trying to alleviate some of the stress of her being a single mom, and just help out any way that I could. I'm 14 years old working 2 jobs, like, cause I don't want her to struggle. Was she struggling? It didn't look like that, but I just didn't want her trying to go so hard to take care of me. And that work ethic has stick with me forever. That drive that was birthed out of seeing her take care of me is the reason why I go so hard, you know, to try to be financially in a good place where I don't have to ask her for anything. I can take care of myself. It's leading me into being this really independent woman, and also, you know, making me just go hard to do small favors for her. You know, maybe I pick up something that month, like a bill or something, or do something nice for her, or if there's something that she really wanted, then I can get it. So things like that, just trying to say thank you for taking care of me and being a single mom, and just also thank you for, you know, all the things that you've instilled in me as a woman and continue to instill in me. So that started real early. That started really early in my teenage years, and still stuck with me now. Like, I don't ask my mom for anything, and it's a really good feeling, and she set me up for success, to work hard and figure it out. And I think that's why she's been so supportive, and, you know, of me just kind of finding my path and taking leaps of faith. She's been there, supportive. When I wanted to leave upstate New York and come back to DC, she let me come back to the house because she knew my drive. She's not gonna let no bum ass person who, you know, doesn't work hard come stay with them, you know, disobedient, not gonna follow their rules from a house perspective. But she knew that I showcased those things early on in my years, so she let me come back home. And then even when I left home again to move up to New York and go to grad school, like, I didn't have no money. I mean, I didn't have a job. I didn't have money like that, especially not to live in New York. But she helped me out because she knew what I can do, because she taught me those things. She taught me those ways. It was weird. It was really weird. Teenage years. like things got worse, because it was kind of like you woke up and wanted to do these things and be in my life, but it was a little bit of inconsistency there, and it hurt my feelings, because sometimes you just get overjoyed and you think that things are going to be different, and they don't turn out to be different. Sometimes they turn out to be worse than, you know, how they were before, and you're just like, what? And then you kind of get to a point where it's just like, I'm not about to keep setting myself up to be let down again. So I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want to, you know, get hyped for nothing, get hyped for inconsistency, get hyped for lies. I don't want to do that anymore. And that really just tarnishes a relationship. And that's really what a lot of my teenage years going into, you know, my young adult years, is it better now? Yes, but sometimes I feel like I repeatedly have turned the other cheek, or repeatedly tried to be the bigger person throughout my entire time of being on this earth. And I just feel like, as a parent, it needs to be some type of initiative on your end, and it needs to be some type of examples where you're being the bigger person and you are trying to meet somebody halfway. Are things getting better now? I guess. But I'm a little bit broken down from all those years where it feels weird to me. It's really weird. This is a really hard topic to talk about, because it's so many layers to it. And I just, what I want to get through to everyone today is, a lot of people go through things. Just because your parents divorced doesn't mean those that are in a family that has, you know, all the parents together aren't going through issues either. But it hits harder when there's some separation into it. It hits harder when the parents are like in and out of your life, like they're trying to get ready for, you know, hopping in with double dutch and stuff. That is the hardest thing to deal with. The inconsistency, it really just makes things so much harder to deal with. So I don't know, y'all. I think I might do a part 2 to follow up on this after I speak to a therapist. But this is just, my mind is so jumbled with this, but I did want to talk about it because I know for a fact that the separation of my parents has affected me in different ways, especially from a male perspective, like dating and stuff. I feel like I struggle in that department. I hoot and holler sometimes about like knowing my worth, but sometimes me being such a nice person, like I put my worth to the side because I'm so focused on the other person. And in some way, some of those things from a relationship perspective trickles down into that. The upbringing, the separation, the inconsistency with your parents, you know, not trying to be another statistic of breaking up with somebody in a marriage with kids. Like, all of that makes me hesitant about being with somebody. It's a lot. It's a lot, but I appreciate you guys for listening to this episode. I will be back better than ever with all of the serious topics, fun topics. You're gonna have a good time. Please continue to stay safe, wear your mask. Even though I'm getting maskne, so my face is starting to break out some, but wear your mask so we can get through this. And I'm sending love to everybody through this hard time. We'll get through it. Stay strong, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, y'all.